Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Got a good one for you starting today, folks. We're going to be building a big button form. What's that? Well, we're going to be creating a dynamic form with lots of big buttons on it so you can select options in your Microsoft Access database. Now, I'm not just talking about a bunch of different forms with a bunch of different buttons on it. I'm talking about one form that you can control dynamically using VBA code. So, for example, let's say you want to pick a vehicle, right? Make, model, and year. Normally, you could do this with cascading combo boxes or something like that, but if you're working in a garage, as we'll discuss in a minute, this might be easier. You click a button, you pick the make, right? Ford, you pick the model, Mustang, and picture someone with a touch screen, right? Just tapping on it. You pick 2022, and you can have more options if you want, and then it puts the value right here in that combo box for you, right? That replaces cascading combo boxes. So this is going to be our end result, this thing right here, right? But we got a lot of work to do to get to this point. So let's take a look at the question first. Today's question comes from Adam in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Adam is one of our Platinum members. He's one of the moderators on my website, and he's our resident badge geek. We call him something different than badge geek, but badge geek is more appropriate for a video. Anyhow, since he's so proud of his badges, I figured I'd put them all here in the video for him, right? And on the website, we got different badges for all kinds of things, like whether you're a Trekkie, what your rank is, what country you're from, all kinds of different stuff. All right, so Adam's question is, have you covered creating button controls on the fly anywhere? Can Access even do that? I need to select the year, make, and model of a vehicle. I agree cascading combo boxes or list boxes would be so much simpler, but for the people that would be using this with tablets and touchscreens, they are not as friendly as buttons I've found, especially covered in grease. LOL. Yes, I do understand exactly what you're talking about. I've had to build some interfaces before that were touchscreen friendly, and you need lots of big buttons because picking from a combo box or a list box isn't quite as good. You can make list boxes really big, but if people have to scroll up and down, it gets cumbersome. Now, a couple of years ago, I put together this Tech Help video and database called Vehicle Maintenance, and we did something similar here where we pick a make and model, and these cascaded. So, for example, if you pick Audi, you'd see only the Audi models here. You wouldn't see Mustang, for example, under Audi. Okay, so go watch this video if you want to get a little heads up on what we're doing today. And of course, cascading combo boxes are where you pick a value in the first box, and that will limit the options in the second box. So if you pick Florida here, you'll see only cities from Florida, for example. I've got another video that explains these in a lot more detail. This is what we're going to be replicating with buttons. You should also watch my custom message box video as well, because in this video, I teach you how to open a form. All right, in this case, a custom message box form, and then have this form return a value to whoever called it, all right, using the AC dialog command. So this guy opens up, execution stops, the user clicks a button, and then execution can continue after this guy returns its value. So this is covered in this video. Go watch this. And there are a lot of ways to set and return those values. You can use global variables. You can use form arguments with the open args. There's lots of different ways you can do it. I chose to use temp vars. I think it's the best method. And of course, Adam loves temp vars. In fact, I almost called this video Adam's Big Button Form featuring temp vars, but I figured this would be fine. Now, there's going to be a lot of VBA in this series, so this is pretty much for more advanced developers. If you are not a VBA developer and you want to learn how to program in VBA, go start here. Go watch this video. It's about 20 minutes long. It'll teach you everything you need to know to get started. And I've got lots more beginner VBA videos on my website as well. But today is going to be for the developers. So those of you who have been asking me for more advanced developer stuff, well, strap in. Here we go. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start with my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download off my website if you want to. It's got a lot of things in it that I like that already have my options and stuff set. I've got some sample code that I use in here, and I've covered this in a lot of my other videos. But let's start out by making our tables that we're going to need for today's video. We need a make table, a model table, and a year table. Yes, we need a year table. So bear with me as we go through the setup here. We're going to start off with vmake ID, that's our auto number. Auto number should be in every table, pretty much. V make name, and that'll be short text. Why V? Because I don't feel like spelling out vehicle every time. That's one of those words I always type wrong. I know how to spell it, but my fingers don't always type it in right. Okay? For vehicle make, we could probably index this guy, right? No duplicates. You wouldn't want two Fords in this table, right? We're going to save this guy as V make T, my vehicle make table. Right? Primary key is the ID. Let's put some sample data in it. We got, what do we got here? Ford. We got Chevy. We got GMC. We got Jeep. And I'm an Audi driver, so I'm going to put Audi in there. All right. I like the great German engineering. All right, now I'm going to leave this table open and just slide it over here because I'm going to want to be able to see what these IDs are to put them in my model table. All right, now normally you'd make data entry forms for all this so you wouldn't have to know what the IDs are. You guys are developers, you know all about that. I'm not going to waste time doing that in class, but you can do that if you want to. You know, make a form with a couple of subforms on it, fill all this stuff out, but we're just going to put the tables together for now. So create table design, this will be our model table. So vehicle model ID, that's my auto number. I like to keep all my IDs up top. We need to relate this back to the make. So V make ID, that's a number, that's our foreign key. Right, that'll link back to the make table. And then V model name, name, that's where we'll put the model name in there. All right, save this, V model T, Model T. See what I did there? It's a database about cars, and they got a Model T in there. I'm just kidding. I know it's stupid. All right, hit OK. Primary key. Yep. Close this guy. All right, let's put some data in this one. Now, this is where you're going to want to see the makes over here. So you can come over here, right? You're going to put, okay, so we'll put, we'll do one. We'll do, what we got? F-150. That's Ford. We'll do another Ford. We'll do the Mustang. We'll do the Explorer. We'll do the Escape and the Bronco. You need data for this one, Bronc. You need data for this database to like actually see that it's working and what it's doing. If you want to cheat, if you want to get a list of these somewhere, you can. I actually went out to ChatGPT and I just told it to give me a list of these that I could just type in. Watch this. I'm going to show you a little trick. So I went to ChatGPT, right? And I said, please give me a list of models of vehicles made by Chevy. Please display them in a format that I can easily copy and paste into an MS Access table with line breaks. Because if you don't tell it to give you the line breaks, you won't get the line breaks. Hit OK. And it should just put a list together for you. There you go. I don't need that many. And in fact, let's update that a little bit. Let's say, give me this, copy that. Let's say, give me 5 models and put them in a code window. If you put stuff in a code window, it gives it to you like this in one of these code blocks. You just go copy code. Makes it easier. Now that I've copied that, watch what happens. Come back over here. Now click on just this cell, just like that. I know this is Access. These are not cells, but just make sure you got just that highlighted and hit paste. Boom. There you go. See that? Now we just got to come over here and fill all the 2s in. This is just a simple one-time data entry thing, right? That's pretty cool, right? And now I'll say do the same thing for GMC. Give me 7 of them or whatever. And there you go. There's GMC. Copy it. And you could do the IDs first. If you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can come in here and select, watch this, move right over the border and select just those cells, we'll call them, and then hit paste. Boom, there they go. See how easy that is? And then I'll say, give me 5 for Jeep. Beautiful. Copy code. Paste it in there. Jeep is 4. It's these little tricks like this that sometimes make your job as a programmer, a developer, a lot easier, knowing these little tricks, even just sometimes the shortcut keys. And this is something you're probably just going to do once and never have to do it again. So, and give me 10 for Audi, please. I'm always polite to ChatGPT because you never know when they're going to become our overlords. So I want to be on a good, standing with these guys. Copy code. And then we'll come in here and we'll paste it. And Audi, what's what the model name's Audi? Come on. Awesome German engineering, not too creative with the naming. I got a Q5 and a S3, which I don't even see on the list there. All right, we'll put the Audi in there. All right, so we got that table all set. Okay. Now, when it comes to this table, you don't necessarily want to index no duplicates this. I know technically the car manufacturers try to not step on each other's toes, so you're not going to see like a GMC Mustang, for example, but you never know. It could happen. Maybe both car manufacturers comes out with a Raspberry model or something, and two of them do it in the same year, and oops. But if you want to prevent duplicates for a specific manufacturer, you can set up a composite index. That's a lot more detailed. I do have videos on it. It's actually easier to check this in code if you have a form where you put the stuff in. Just do a quick DLOOKUP and say if this is already in here, at least give the user a warning. That's a whole separate video, though. All right, so next up is going to be the year table. For that, we don't really need to see this right now. Save changes, yes. Save changes, yes. Let's create table design. We'll have a V year ID auto number. Yes, we're going to put an auto number in this table too. This is going to relate back to the model, V model ID. And this will also be a number. That's our foreign key. And then just V year, because we're going to make this a number as well. That won't be text. Now, what you got to do is, let's save this. Save this as V year T. You have to put a year in here for each model for each make. I know it's a ton of data entry, but is this necessary? Yeah, it really is. If you want to make sure you get all of the available years for a specific model of car, then you've got to have a table for it. If you don't care, if you're not that particular about it, if you just got maybe a service shop and you just want to type it in, that's fine. I don't care. But if it matters to you, you need a table for it. Not every model was made every year. For example, the Chevy Camaro. They made it from 93 to 2002, then they stopped making it until 2010. So there is no such thing as a 2008 Chevy Camaro. So that would be something you'd put in this table. Now, we're storing the model in the year table, which if we know this, we can go back to the model table, right? Do we need to store the make in this table? No, because as long as we know the model, we can go back to the model table to find what make that belongs to, right? That's why these are cascading tables. Okay, so we know the make. Okay, we know the model. And now we got to put in the years for each of those. All right, let me make these a little bit smaller here. I guess we do need to see these right now. Now, this can be extremely cumbersome. The makes were tough to get in here, right? The years are even worse. What you have to do is say, okay, the model. All right, the F-150 is model 1. All right, now you got to put all the years in that you want for that vehicle. Let's just do 2020, right? 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay, then you got to come over here, fill all these in. And yes, you can do this with code if you want to. Or if you want to just block, copy, and paste this in here, Excel is really good at this. You can use Excel because it can autofill and find the patterns. So if you want just, let's say, 2020 to 2024, say that 10 times fast. 2020 to 2024, right? And you want that for all of your models that are currently in here. What are we up to? Model number, let's see. 30. So we need 32 of them, right? For this. Let's go over to Excel. I'm just going to open Excel up. And I'm going to come over here and let's say for each of these. So let's do 2, 2, 2, 2. Let's just say we're going to do 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Okay. Now here, I'm going to say equals this plus 1. So that's 3. I'm going to autofill this down like that. Okay. And for here, I'm just going to say this equals that. Press enter, and I'm going to autofill that down. Right? See how that works? Now, just autofill this down as far as you think it needs to go. So I'm going to bring it down to here, maybe. Right? There's 4, 5, 6. Keep going. What do we need? 32 of these guys? So drag it down. Let's see. There's 4 of them, 32, about 120 rows worth. Let's see. Come on. Write it down here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. So there's 32. We can get rid of these ones. Delete. Right? Now, just copy all of these cells. Ready? Copy. Switch back over to Access. And now I'm going to select these two cells together and then hit paste. Boom. And there's all my data that I need. See how that worked? See, selecting these cells in table view, that's handy. And now I've got all of the years in for all of those cars. Right? Model 30, which is the Q5, right? And now I've got all those in here. And you can come in here and tweak whatever you want to tweak. If you want to have more years, less years, years don't exist, that's up to you. But this is just getting the initial data set up. And yes, I know Adam was saying in the forums that they basically, their shop gets a big, huge Excel spreadsheet with all of this in it, so he doesn't have to fill it in. But we need data to play with, right? We need data for our data setup. All right, so our tables are all set. Good to go. And again, you could put together a fancy VBA solution to do that. Yeah, sure, okay. But if you're only going to do it once, just do it in Excel real fast like I just did. It took, what, 2 minutes? I am thinking of making an add-on for this later on. Maybe I'll do a video on it where, you know, the next year comes around, right? The 2025s were released. Now you got to take all of last year's data and just copy it and make a whole new set of models from all the existing ones and just add that year, right? Maybe we'll do that in a future video. It's on my list of possible stuff for the future. But I'm always of the mindset, if it's a task I'm only going to do once, I don't bother automating it. If it's a task that I do every day, I don't care how easy it is. If it's a 3-minute task that I do every day, and I can simplify that with some VBA code, if it takes me 2 hours to write that code just one time, but it saves me 3 minutes a day, well, after, 40 days, now I'm in net positive time gain, right? So I just click my button and it's done. And that's 3 minutes off of every day that's saved. So I'm all about VBA and automating stuff if it's merited, if it's warranted. All right, so we got make, we got model, we got year. Could we do more stuff? Sure. You could do whatever you want. You could do, engine type. You could do styles, like is it a sedan? Is it a coupe? Is it a hatchback? Is it an SUV? Is it a van? Is it a van?
Rule number 1. In my van, it's rush. All rush, all the time.
You could do drive type. You could do fuel type. You could do all that stuff. You could just make more cascading tables and just add to what I'm showing you right in this video. You could do things like color, although I wouldn't necessarily make that a table. You could just enter that or make a list of colors to pick from, unless you care about like stock factory colors, because people can always custom paint their cars. So you might get a purple Ford F-150. I don't know, whatever. Now, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to proper data entry, if you don't want to deal with the tables, or if you want your end users to be able to modify these, the make, model, year tables, you don't want them working in your tables, right? End users do not get access to tables. That's a rule of mine. They have to work in forms. So you could use nested subforms. Yes, you can have multiple nested subforms, right? Make, model, year. This video explains how. You could also use synchronized subforms. This is a little more advanced, but essentially you'd have a parent form that doesn't have any data in it. Then you'd have, make over here, model in the next subform over, and then maybe have a third form over here with the years. You can add stuff like that, and these are all synchronized. So check this form out if you want to learn about that. But we're not going to focus on those kinds of forms in this series, unless we do later. If you guys want to see that, let me know. If you guys get hooked on this database and want to see how those forms are integrated into this one, let me know and I'll make more videos. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Post a comment down below. But for the rest of this video series, we are going to focus on this form, this pretty guy. We're going to take those makes and load them into this form. This is one dynamic form that we're going to control with some VBA code, right? You pick your make, you pick your model. This comes out of the model table based on the value that the user picked in the previous step. Same form, we just change the parameters. Mustang, right? And then you pick your year. And then it puts that here. And we're going to get to this part in tomorrow's video. So tune in tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. If you remember, of course, you can watch them as soon as they're finished. I'm going to try to record part 2 right now. It's getting late, though. I might actually record part 2 tomorrow, but we'll see. But we got lots to go. This is probably going to be at least a 5 or 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how many parts. This is going to be a long series. I got tons and tons of notes. Lots of VBA coding coming up. So that's going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. Oh, and wait, someone's beaming in. Hold on. A special thank you and shout out to our diamond sponsor, Juan Soto with Access Experts Software Solutions. They're manufacturing experts specializing in Microsoft Access and SQL Server. Juan is a 13-time Microsoft Access MVP. Check them out at accessexperts.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any Tech Help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for Tech Help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.